I believe in the rapture. The rapture of the church is an event in which Jesus receives all born-again believers to himself before his righteous judgment is poured out upon the earth during the 7-year tribulation period. Today I'd like to give you 3 convincing reasons why I believe in the pre-tribulation rapture of the church. Number 1, the rapture must be true because the church is not intended to go through the tribulation period. 1 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 10 says, Jesus rescues us from the coming wrath. What is the coming wrath? The tribulation period. 1 Thessalonians 5:9 says, for God did not appoint us to suffer wrath, but to receive salvation through our Lord Jesus Christ. Revelation 3:10 says, Jesus says to the church in Philadelphia, I will keep you from the hour of trial that is going to come on the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth. Certainly the church will go through many tribulations and many hardships and many persecutions. But all these verses teach us that the church will not go through the coming 7-year tribulation. The church will be rescued. The church will be saved. The church will be kept from the hour of trial. Number 2, the rapture must be true because the church is absent during the tribulation period. When the Bible teaches about the 7-year tribulation period, the church is totally absent. In the book of Revelation, chapters 6 through 19, which describe the tribulation period in all its horrifying detail, I want you to know the church is nowhere to be found. In fact, the book of Revelation talks a lot about the church. In the first chapters 1, 2, and 3, the church is mentioned 18 times. And then total silence. When the book of Revelation speaks of the 7-year tribulation, the church is totally absent. It's only in chapter 22, the final chapter of the book, after the 7-year tribulation has ended, that Revelation speaks again of the church. In fact, in the entire Bible, the word church is never used when talking about the tribulation period. Why? The church has been raptured. Number 3, the rapture must be true because the church is to be ready for the coming of the Lord at any moment. If there is no rapture, then the church will have to go through the 7-year tribulation, when the wrath of God is poured out over the whole earth, culminating with the Battle of Armageddon. If the church has to go through the 7-year tribulation, there are a number of signs that must occur before the second coming of Christ. What are some of these signs? Letter A, the Antichrist must be revealed. Letter B, the temple in Jerusalem must be rebuilt. And letter C, animal sacrifice must be reinstituted. However, the Bible teaches that Jesus coming for the church is imminent, that it can come at any time. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 1 and 2 says, but concerning the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I should write to you, for you yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so comes as a thief in the night. So, we are not told to look for signs and then Christ will come. We are told to be ready for the Lord's coming at any moment. I believe these are 3 convincing proofs directly from the scriptures that indicate a pre-tribulation rapture of the church. Number 1, the church is not intended to go through the tribulation period. Number 2, the church is absent during the tribulation period. And number 3, the church is to be ready for the coming of the Lord at any moment. Are you ready for the rapture.